Thank you, Alan. Good afternoon to everybody. I have a I'm actually very happy to be standing up here today to make this announcement as an indication of where we're headed and what we're achieving to do with CanBIM and with the Education and Research Committee. At our fall AGM in Toronto last year, we established a few goals to achieve, and I'm very happy to say that we are well underway in development to one of those very particular goals. And you can see here on the screen, it is the CanBIM certified professional, the development of very clear objectives towards a standardized certification and accreditation nationally. So from coast to coast, our intention is to provide levels of certification for both individuals and companies to bring us all together in Canada, but most importantly, to open us up and invite in international dialogue as well. So our aim for CanBIM accreditation and certification is as indicated, to create a national accreditation and certification body, providing a very definite set of benchmarks for individuals, AECO companies and organizations, academic institutions, and training providers to be certified to a nationally standardized and recognized levels of both BIM competency and process management. And we've got a very quick definition of what we consider those two asterisks to represent. So as you can see, it is a very strong force to unify us at a very significant level, ranging from academics to practice to education. And in response to what industry is telling us, they need people to be able to know how to do and understand, to work within a virtual design construction environment within their offices. The objectives within these aims is to establish, recognize, and guide industry BIM standards and competency levels to ensure a productive, healthy, and sustainable BIM ecosystem for all of Canada's BIM partners, all of us sitting here and so many more that are in Canada. Maintain and provide a national database of certified individuals and companies. So Canada-wide, everybody can look to this certification and have a clear understanding of whether an individual or a company is in Vancouver or Toronto or Montreal. If they've received or achieved the level of certification that we've established, you can have very definite indications of what can be expected of that person or that company. We'd like to establish a benchmark to be a point of reference for higher education to ensure that the skills being taught in courses and programs, not just academically, but also in training providers, that they're very relevant and real to obviously what is a quickly evolving and ever evolving industry for all of us. And lastly, and very importantly, is to pursue constructive dialogue and mutual recognition with similar accreditation bodies in other BIM-healthy countries. And we really feel these are critical. They're a unifying force, not just for the present, but also for the future of the BIM environment here in Canada and internationally. So based on that, we've developed 4 levels of certification at this point for individuals. So our development in these levels is indicated here on this slide. There's 4 potential levels at the moment of certification. Everything from, we've tagged it right now as BP1, BIM Professional 1. We all hear about accredited professionals internationally. The accreditation will tend to say that an individual or a company is qualified to deliver the material, either be a BIM trainer or an institution that trains people in BIM. What we're trying to do with a certification is tell you this person can actually do it, work it, and apply it in your environment. So the first level is based on simply theoretical, functional, and we've indicated what the assessment targets are and what the learning outcome is. So it's a general knowledge. Subsequently, moving up to BP2, execution or data integration, so being able to actually apply it and use it within an environment, skills and application. BP3 is administrative or management. And we're looking for someone who has or you'll be looking for someone a certification of complete comprehension. And then the fourth level at this point is a fully certified professional, which is a progression from 1 to 4, and someone who is able to completely implement the plan, can facilitate it in the environment, and can comprehend it across the process. When I say comprehend it, what I mean is the process, the BIM process, across all individuals, the entire team, all the skills, all the fields. And that would be the prima donna. But we're looking at also other elements within this. Perhaps someone only does one and is able to achieve a different definite ranking if they prefer not to proceed. So we're still developing this, but this is a very firm direction that we've placed our footing on to proceed from here on in. We've based these progressive steps in certification. What we're developing is you will always have to complete the prior before proceeding to the next. So to do BP1, that's obviously the easiest or the least requirements, because you do that one course. And as you move forward, your progression will be based both on completion of accredited CanBIM courses, either at a school, training provider, or in-house. Successful completion of any evaluation of those courses, but we will also be putting in relevant experience. And as we move along, there's continued professional development. These sessions can be part of that development. And as we move further along, perhaps we begin to look at elements where we have people with relevant degrees in the building sector, relative diplomas. But the progression up this chain, or this ladder will be based upon experience and continued professional development. So right up until you get to CanBIM CP, you'll have somebody that's done all the other 3 steps, has had at least 5 to 7 strong years of relevant experience. You're really looking at a person with some significant depth in BIM process and process management within BIM. Some of the further metrics and benchmarks that we'll be considering subsequent to this, of course, is the certification also of companies who employ these certified individuals. And we're going to be looking at the parameters of that. The maintenance of individual and company certification levels, PD, participation, academic programs, both in institutions and training providers. So simply not just courses, but also programs. And they will be based on learning outcomes rather than specific suppliers. So if we receive a course outcome or a course outline, and it meets those outcomes that industry tells us they want met, then those are the accreditations and certifications that we will go by. We're looking at student or associate certification and continued professional development with the regional sessions in academia, training providers, and in-house. And of course, as some of the people on the board have mentioned, I put applied practical experience, so the people that have been in the industry for a few years, let's call them the seniors. How do we grandfather that back in, and how do they become accredited in that respect as well? So we're looking at, as I said, the past, the present, and the future to tie it all together. So at this point, what we're going to hopefully have done, or will have done, for fall when we meet again in Edmonton for our AGM, we would like to launch the individual level certification program officially, launch the company level certification program as well, and hopefully have begun the process of benchmarking courses and single courses and programs with respect to our certification levels and accreditation levels. So that was the announcement I needed to make. Edmonton will see a much more in-depth opportunity for this. We will be providing information on the website for feedback, because it is important that we make sure we're hitting your pulse to make sure we're responding to what you need. Thank you for your time, and I believe, Tom, you have a few words to say?